How the fuck is everybody doing? I figured I'd just get the first swear word out of the fucking way so we can just not have to worry about whether they're going to keep me on or not. So, I am going to try to rearrange a few things here while we're waiting. I'm a little early, motherfuckers. I was like 35 fucking seconds early. No shit. It's normally 35 seconds late because I forget something. But how the fuck is everybody doing? Lady Hawk, wow, second day in a row with actually getting a reminder. What the fuck? I do want to remind everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please do share this video as well as all our other videos. Click the fucking notification bell to make sure that they didn't turn it off for you, one. But two, look down to see if you have had to all of a sudden resubscribe to me because it's happened many, many fucking times. So, but how the fuck are you doing? Thank you, everybody. These systems are just money hungry. Exactly. Sorry, I didn't mention to be offensive, but call the system what it is. Kashina, how you doing? Brian, how the fuck are you? Amelia, what's going on? Jessica, how are you? It's Julian. It's the Julian to your Ricky. How the fuck you doing? Lindsay, how you doing? That Lindsay with an A. Nakia Smith. Artemis Jones. Jesus Christ. Lots of people. Hi there from Barcelona. What the fuck's up? How you doing? Barcelona. I used to have some clients in Barcelona. Janet, how are you? Emily, how are you? Pleasure to have all of you here today. So today we are going to talk about whether Weight Watchers is failure by design. We are going to look at a few of the Weight Watchers reviews, see the issues that people had with them, and then we are going to discuss. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I have felt for a long time that Weight Watchers was literally a tool to try to keep people fat. If you have ever been a member of any of the Facebook groups or anything like that for Weight Watchers, and I'm not saying that I have, falsely filled out a thing saying I was using on Weight Watchers and be in them. I've just been told. But it's basically a bunch of people trying to figure out how to eat cheesecake on 0 points. So it is not a good thing, if you ask me. The concept of assigning 0 points to food is ridiculous. The only thing that has 0 points is water. And I've always found that to be incredibly hard. I did like it in its inception because it got people mindful about what they're eating. The second it became about buy our Weight Watchers food and here's some 0 point shit is when I believe they jumped the shark shortly. I think when Oprah became involved, or I don't know if she's always been or became Republican involved. That's when it became more about a business to me. We're going to talk about that. We're going to let some people join first. We're only a couple minutes in, so I'm just going to talk to the people in the comments for a minute. But also, I did want to we could talk about something here real quick. We're probably going to talk about this later on in the week because I believe it will be a rather pressing issue. And I'm probably going to make a video about it later on today. I filmed one earlier and then I didn't like it, but we are going to talk about this thing happening, and I'm gonna. While we're waiting for other people to get on for us to talk about Weight Watchers, we are going to talk about this really, really, really quickly. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is a response to me. Where are you guys at? Right here. Gina Nicole, how the hell are you? And here we go. And let me pull this to the side here and then set myself up to actually do this shit. So, there. Okay, so let me one more time. Share screen, front window. Okay, boom. Here we are. Just fucking insanity, if you ask me. Are you eligible for the NHS's new miracle weight loss injection? A million morbidly obese adults may be eligible to get a game-changing once-a-week jab. I've got so much. I really wish somebody would invite me on a talk show to talk about this because I have so much to say about the lunacy that this is. First of all, it is not the NHS's drug. This is a complete, clear misrepresentation. This is not a drug that the NHS, using the funds of the citizens of the UK, made. This is Wegovy. I've talked about it multiple times. Wegovy is anywhere before this. Here's the thing. In America, if you don't have insurance, this is the price. It's $1,400 to $1,600 a month. Okay? They want to put, and I don't know what deal they're going to get in the UK. I don't. I have absolutely no idea. I can tell you this. If it is $10 a month, that would be $10 million a month. Or if it's $10 a month, it would be $10 million a month for as many people as they're talking about for a long time. For 68 weeks. It goes 68 weeks. That's one, okay? Like, the cost of this is amazing. This is a gift to the pharmaceutical industry. Anybody that thinks it's any different is an idiot. This is a gift to the pharmaceutical industry, to the company Novo Nordisk that makes this obesity drug that is shown to have high side effects that could possibly lead to other pharmaceuticals being needed, but also it produces 15% weight loss in 68 weeks with 3 weeks of weight gain towards the end. Like, this is a very, and coupled, it is coupled, by the way, with diet and exercise. You cannot, they're not going to guarantee the results unless you actually diet and exercise while on it. This is all, and I shit you not, on the fucking website for this drug, okay? The UK is going to start administering this or suggesting the administration of it using the funds for the NHS to all their obese people while they have to also diet and exercise. This is a gift. Now, I do want, I do absolutely want for people to understand that while this is a gift to the pharmaceutical industry, it absolutely 100% is, this could also be, if the NHS is actually recognizing this, you folks need to get it in your minds and understand that, in fact, they could very easily mandate people take this. They have a hugely obese population that they could somehow mandate that these people take this. If you don't think that the governments of the UK and the United States and social media and mainstream media would not flip on the body positivity and fat acceptance movements for money, you're crazy. If you don't think that these institutions would help the pharmaceutical industry by making it seem like people absolutely needed to use their product, and they've already made it seem like you pretty much cannot lose weight any other way, and they have pretty much solidified obese people being victims, you do not think that they would say, well, we know you have a problem. You are a victim of obesity. Here is the cure. We have it for you. And since obesity does add to so much strain, and it's going to be inarguable soon. Like, that's the thing. As they talk about it more and more and more, and they talk about this pandemic more, they're going to have to admit that obesity played a massively huge role. That's why when people were telling me to stay in my motherfucking lane, I'm in my motherfucking lane. When you're talking about population health level events, obesity is the fucking number one thing. It just absolutely is. It's fucking crazy that people didn't fucking view this. Not only did I stay in my lane, a bunch of fucking fitness people moved out of theirs so they could avoid talking about this shit. Instead of actually being about health and fitness, they were all about just exercises and shit to avoid talking about this shit. This is very much fitness. This is very much health. And they are going to possibly use it to mandate shit to you. And at some point in time, if you do not fix your fucking selves, if you don't think that they can justify calling that obesity is a fucking emergency level fucking thing, like there's an actual national emergency due to the rate of obesity and chronic illness and disease, when 1.7 million people a year die of chronic illness and disease, you have not been paying the fuck attention for the last 2 years. I'm just going to state that. If you believe that, you have not been paying attention for the last 2 fucking years. So please understand, like, for real, please understand that this is a possibility. Okay, this is absolutely a possibility. Somebody just said nothing is free, and that is absolutely true because it still gets paid for through taxes and shit like that. It's fucking people need to understand that this is a gift to these industries, a gift to them, an absolute fucking gift. All right, so I just wanted to go over that real quick while we had some people joining. I do have other shit again we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about how Weight Watchers is not a substantial way to keep weight off, in my opinion, of course. I have yet, by the way, and this is all for the Weight Watchers lawyers and everything like that. This is all my opinion. This is completely anecdotal evidence. I am not making a claim against the company. I am stating that, in my opinion, of course, these are the reasons why Weight Watchers is fucking ridiculous. And then we're just going to read some reviews and discuss them. So this is not me saying not to use Weight Watchers. This is me saying this is my opinion on Weight Watchers. So please, everybody, just fucking keep your bonnets on. You fucking weirdos. Share, Chrome tab. And we're going to share Weight Watchers failure stories. And let me pull this out. All right. Why will I never go back to Weight Watchers? This is from 2016. We will click on it. It is the New York Post. So take it as for what you will. Let me see here. She lost 30 when Sarah Peretta, sorry, I didn't mean to fuck up your name if you ever would have watched the Sarah Peretta. 35 lost 7 pounds on Weight Watchers in 2007. The Upper West Side woman thought she'd finally achieved a body she could be happy with instead of felt tired and defeated as she struggled to maintain her weight. I could lose a couple of pounds and then would put them back on, says the 5'4" Peretta. By April 2015, she was 12 pounds heavier than she'd ever been, weighing 165, and she wears a size 12 dress. I even ran a marathon only to gain weight, she says. Peretta, who works in finance, isn't the only one who has such experiences on Weight Watchers. Her trainer and nutritionist, Arain Hunt, 40, says she regularly sees people who have struggled with the popular diet, which she claims damages people's metabolism, making them lose and maintain weight, making losing and maintaining weight difficult. I don't know about that. I don't see it as that either. I don't think that that's the reason why. I do think that yo-yo dieting, the way that Weight Watchers has a lot of people do, is bad. I will point out that this article from 2000 whatever, 2016 is addressing a 165-pound woman as if she's big. That is fucking think about if the New York Post were to fucking say something like that right now. Holy shit. When clients come in that did Weight Watchers, they usually have a high body fat percentage and have lost a lot of muscle mass due to lack of protein, low calorie intake, and lack of strength training. That I completely fucking agree with. When you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down. Eating less and being active only works for so long. Now I understand her thought process by it. Absolutely. I thought for a second she was talking about metabolic damage, but she's just talking about the loss of muscle. And for those of you that don't understand what she's talking about, a pound of muscle burns a lot more calories than a pound of fat because it's an active muscle. It's an active tissue. You know what I mean? So that does make sense. That does make sense. In 2015, Hunt created a plan targeting clients who have been through Weight Watchers and failed. The $299 4-week program includes 15 boot-style camp workouts and build muscle and class and nutrition. I gotta say, that's good for her. She's trying to make a dime off it, but that's cool. Let's see. Why Weight Watchers won't watch me ever again. This is from 2014. You didn't fail, your program did. This is my Weight Watchers made me fat. Why Weight Watchers made me fatter and will never watch me again. Weight Watchers is there a more familiar and beloved program for losing weight in North America? And no, because it's Oprah. Who doesn't love Oprah? She gives away cars. The illusion of its benign nature is deeply embedded in our culture. even just hinting on my Facebook page that this week that I was planning to write a post, elicit emotional, sometimes angry feedback. I'm writing it anyway, and I'm going to keep writing it as it turns out. I'd love for you to be the first to read my next installment. Make sure to sign up here. Good pitch. Anyway, people are attached to the sensible, balanced, and sane approach to losing weight that Weight Watchers markets as their program. The program works, they say, and it does for a time. Weight Watchers helped me lose weight 3 times, in fact. This article is about the first. The problem is that you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Once you have had success on the plan, you are a lifetime member, whether you've even ever managed to make it official or not. So basically, what she's saying is, and this does happen in the industry a lot, where people will stick to or go back to a diet that they once lost weight on, but then once they went off of, they gained weight back, or that the program itself caused them to be to actually lessen their health markers, such as this she's talking about with in the previous article, where somebody is losing muscle mass and things of that nature. I personally think this is all by design. I really do. Like it is easy to understand that they want to keep clients for life. To make it overtly confusing, they celebrate the tiniest little basic success. Like a lot of times you see the articles where the people lose weight from a smaller weight. Like, when you have hundreds of pounds to lose, it is different from when you're at a smaller weight. These people have somehow been over focused on their weight when in fact 145 pounds, eat is whole. If you have like 10, 15, 20 pounds to lose, avoid processed foods, get healthy, fun activity that you like, and try to find a way to do that forever. And that's what a lot of people that get hooked into Weight Watchers should. They're convinced they need to lose that last 7, 10 pounds, or whatever, and they fucking don't. They just need to let nature take its course, But the shit that Weight Watchers, hang on a second, I'm going to get to. I think the issue with Weight Watchers is that light foods have lower point values, so it skews a client's perception to think what those types of food are healthy, but quite the opposite. Well, there's that, it just skews the relationship with food in general because it assigns points in a way that you wouldn't normally think of shit. You can eat chicken and bananas and shit like that, and it'd be 0 points, and that's not a healthy thing to me. When you're trying to get a good relationship with food, mindfully eat your food. Understand that this may have health consequences or benefits. People should be thinking about that. To pretend that you should not be concerned with the nutrition that you put into your body is fucking insanity. To say that it is you think about the type of gas you put in your fucking car, and you don't think, and if you think you shouldn't have to label, people are like, you shouldn't label good and bad foods. Well, I'm not disagreeing, but there are some foods that are just eaten for fucking pleasure. If you view it as just, this food is for pleasure, it tastes great, I love it, it is not healthy for me at all, I should not eat this because it is just me eating for pleasure on a daily basis. I can occasionally have something just for pleasure if I watch the rest of it, if I'm not unhealthy. Even if I am, if it's something sweet that I can have and still get to a healthier spot once a week where that sweet thing can stop me from overeating, that's what you should do. But don't view healthy foods as not you should think about everything you put in your fucking mouth. It is your nutrition, it is your health, it is your longevity. It is a lot of shit. We have it where we pretend like it doesn't matter in society, how people eat or just be I'm sorry, but when people say there's no good and bad foods, this implies that all foods have the same nutritional context to them. And that's not true. Now, I'm not even saying people should label foods as bad food, but again, label them as not necessarily good for your health. Any ultra processed carbohydrate is not good for your health. To eat just straight sugar just spikes your insulin. It actually is shown to negatively affect you. We need to get there very quickly, much quicker than what we are. Let's see here. That's the only person I know that's been through successful though. You were talking about somebody, Leanne. And I can't find your other comment. So everybody, you can post comments farther down here. A banana has like 120 calories. Easily 120 calories. The point system further skews a person's relationship with food who already has problems with it. I completely agree. This is why, like, I mean, I know that one of the weight loss YouTubers goes back to Weight Watchers a lot. She should stop. First of all, and this is no shit, if you have ever used a method of dieting, again, it's dieting that you temporarily did not like you couldn't do for the rest of your life, and fell off of, quote unquote, and went back to old bad habits, don't do it again. I mean, if you're just going to bounce back and forth, do not do it again. It is not going to magically stick. If you found a way to fall off of it the first time, you will find ways to fall off of it again. Just you need to change your relationship with it. The schemes and the diets and all like that, like everybody has different personal tastes. You just need to get to a point where you can eat to the point where you're happy and healthy at the same time. Okay? A lot of people equate happiness with eating, and it's just, I understand food is pleasurable, and I'm a big foodie. I fucking love food. Crystal and I have literally gone on vacations just for food. No shit. But you have to actually fucking make sure that that's only seen that way. It's just vacation, you know? All right. So let's take another look here. We are going to go back to this. And I'm going to go back. Failing at Weight Watchers, what I did wrong. Happens to everybody. You can find great coupons, everything like that, moving through setbacks, getting the truth of what is going on. I will say a lot of these people have done a good job of morphing their failure on Weight Watchers into actual businesses. It's pretty impressive, and they flood the market with Weight Watchers weight loss success stories. I just don't know. Like, I mean, the issue is that people are successful over and over and over and over and over again because they lose the weight, fall off Weight Watchers, stop paying for all the stuff, gain the weight back, come back, lose a little bit of weight, not as much as they did last time, gain more back. Like, it's a very vicious cycle. It's just about any diet cycle. That's my thing. If you've tried a diet and it's failed, like if you've tried being keto and you literally just completely, utterly, and totally failed at it, and you've gained more weight back, I mean, maybe you shouldn't try keto again. Maybe you should try low carb, or even if you have to be able to work with it, because just trying the same thing over and over again is likely not going to do a goddamn thing. It's likely not going to help at all. Let's say they never focus on protein. They hone in on the sugary-free foods while patting themselves on the back. That's a big problem with it too. From what I've seen, it's a huge issue with Weight Watchers. Food science classes should be in every elementary school. Food science classes should absolutely be in every elementary school. It really should. That when we think about it, and it's not, it seems crazy, doesn't it? Like, it seems absolutely insane to think for any fucking reason that it would not be included. Like, do we prepare people for anything? Like, do we really? They then go into the weigh-in of shame and tell everyone they lost 2 pounds, and I'm like, oh, I lost that on the toilet. Boom, boom, boom. It's going well. You two are saying hello to each other. That's good. I try to find ways to make it so like stuff like this would be wholesome and good and work. Maybe there are some aspects of Weight Watchers somebody could use. I do think that the things that are good about it is it does build a community. Like, people feel that they're going through some stuff together, and I think that that's very, very, very important. The problem is the community surrounding it has gotten to the point where I've literally seen people try to figure out how to eat cheesecake on 0 points, like using this or using that. It's tough to imagine it being a wholesome environment, but people do like to feel included. That's one of the reasons why the fat acceptance movement gained steam is that these people could not lose weight. They were told by society they didn't need to, basically, and then said, "Accept me for me," because I'm sick of not being accepted, because they felt that they'd been picked on when, in fact, they hadn't been. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, what people consider bullying today and what people consider bullying from when I grew up are two radically different things. I still don't understand how people have actually equated where like us suggesting people lose weight is somehow bullying. I don't get that. I mean, that's more kinder than telling them being fat's healthy. That's for fucking sure. Let's see. Blame WW, blame fast food, blame keto, but guess what? Diets don't fail, people do. I agree with that, but the reality of it is I don't think that, like, I think the word diet is the problem. I really do. Like all of it, like the entire word of diet. It's because it's just been too synonymous with what diet are you on. When in fact, if you just eat food, like I'm on the food diet, I eat food. I don't kid myself into thinking that food products are food. The food products are for pleasure, you know. Nutrition is simple. If a hunter gatherer could have eaten it, eat it. I like that. That is simple. I actually did a thing 2 years ago where like the diet that everybody should go on is cooking everything on a grill. If you can't cook it on a grill, don't eat it. You know. My mom is a college professor and developed a healthy lifestyle course to teach kids about nutrition, exercise, and stress management basics. They are stunned when they see the real portion size of food. That's a big thing too. As a recovering alcoholic, I'll attest that the fellowship of other recovering alcoholics has made my sobriety more possible. That's outstanding, and that does to me. That is a really good comparison, because I think that if you would look at alcoholism and Alcoholics Anonymous the same way as obesity that Weight Watchers should be, that would be good. Now imagine what Weight Watchers actually is. Weight Watchers is trying to convince the alcoholics that they can still partake in certain things. Like that's my thing, like they take these people's trust and then they seem to ignore a lot of shit. So there's Overeaters Anonymous. Yes, there is. There's an Overeaters Anonymous, which that really they should just revamp it. There's food addicts. I mean, like these people are food addicts. I mean, it really is. People, I always love how people are like not wanting to call food addiction an addiction. Like, what other item? Like, I mean, look around. We're fat as a people. We're fat. It's horrible. I remember before you saying eating carbs like oatmeal earlier in the day can cause carbs cravings later on. I think that's happening to me. I forgot the reason that it happens. Blood sugar. It is. It's from blood sugar. Or oftentimes, a lot of times, once people even taste sweet, they're in their mind. They start thinking about the food because it's a pleasurable taste, stuff like that. So I know that both blood sugar wise and for me, uh, just mentally, putting that stuff off to later in the day is what works. It works much, much, much better. Now, I just want to tell everybody we're going to take a little break. If you having issues with any of this, there is our coaching, and there is a 30-minute consultation. The consultation gets you a month of the app, by the way, where you can actually message Crystal or I through the app, and we can't coach you because it's just access to the app. But you get access to all the live and pre-recorded yoga on there, hit style training, walking, that sort of thing that she does with people. And you get a 30-minute consultation with me. And then if you would decide to get coaching, we take that $35 off of the price of your package, off the initial run of your package. So you can check out the coaching at that link. That is a special for the coaching that we do just live. We actually have just one we do one a day from that. I got to make sure that nobody's taken it actually so far. And we're going to open up the Q&A. So what questions do all of you have for me? We'll talk about Weight Watchers. We'll talk about anything. I don't give a fuck. That's how I roll. So. Let's see. Okay. Nobody yet. So we still have a coaching spot open. I just stay on the outside edge of the supermarket. That's an excellent way to shop. I wonder if food addiction rehab centers would be successful. You know, I've often thought about getting a place with a pool and like with just a little kitchenette in a couple different a couple different places. Have a good, well maintained saltwater pool. Um, uh, doing like a halfway house. I've often thought about it. The problem is, it's just fucking shit ton of work, shit ton of insurance, and there's a bunch of upfront to go into it. And to be real, then it would have to be coupled with a very serious outpatient follow up, meaning that you have them at the compound basically for a few months, and that's where they kind of stay to get healthier. And this would be for very, very, very large people. Make sure that there's a doctor available, a physical therapist, because that's the fucking thing too. Like one of the things that bothers me is like when you have a 400-pound person, like they should be maybe possibly getting some physical therapy as they lose weight, and it's not talked about at all. Like when you're that big, like when you're like test big, like your gait is altered, like your walking gait is altered, how you hold your body, your center of gravity is even off on a lot of people, you know. And it's just like they need therapy. It's debilitating. We need to view it that way. Like it's so strange how if somebody gets into an accident to the point where they can't walk very well, they get physical therapy. But if somebody's obese and can't walk very well, we don't somehow think that they need physical therapy. I mean, it's very fucking similar. Let's see. Why isn't health socially contagious like obesity is claimed to be? Health would be socially contagious if people, if I think if people could profit off of it. I really do. But when you don't have aspirate, like that's one of the reasons why toxic masculinity is being beaten down. I believe. Like I'm not under the belief that the pharmaceutical industry, the lobbyists that lobby our our people from our government. I'm not totally convinced that they want us to be healthy, and they will. I mean, when you think about how fitness is almost taboo now, like if you are a fitness person, you're automatically stupid. Like if you're a dude with muscle, you're automatically stupid. If you're a girl with muscle, you're automatically just like pander to the guys or something like that. Like you're also stupid and this and that, and you're trying to be like man. It's insane. Like the amount of fit shaming or fit stereotypes is hilarious. It really, really, really is. And it's always the same thing. Like there are so many people, uh, so many people that are trying to make it seem like being fit is a negative thing. There's literally people talking about like don't shovel your fucking snow because like you might be physically enough active. Like we got people that afraid. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, rehab-ish, exactly. It would have to be like the place I was talking about. There would have to be some sort of outpatient therapy too. You know. Let's see. Frozen or fresh veggies, is there much of a difference in nutrition? I believe there is some difference in nutrition when you reheat them and stuff like that. Not much though, and it's better than eating the processed carbohydrates and stuff like that. Would you consider grits to be a food product? No, grits is ground corn. It is not something that is bleached or anything like that. If you just get non-bleached, it's not a food product. Flour is also just wheat ground until they bleach it and shit like that. And then flour, like grits, are something you kind of just heat up with water. You know, flour is something you have to bake with a bunch of other stuff, including sugar normally. So it all depends. I still do watch how I eat grits because I do eat grits fairly often. I make grit cakes also fairly often for us to put our stuff over instead of noodles or whatever. And I still view those I know they can be very calorically dense, so you just got to watch. Like a fat camp, but it would also have a follow up. I mean, you would need to have an outpatient follow up, absolutely, and you should the inpatient portion of it should be treating these people like both, uh, like if you're 400 pounds, it's time to accept that you've got very serious issues with food in some way, like male or female. Like if you're 400 pounds, you've got very serious issues with food in some way. Like you're gonna have like it's you need to get there quickly. So for people like that, I would probably have group therapy and therapy available. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I have this dream of having this place, but I mean, there would never like the possibilities of it would be are very very minimal. And again, I don't know if it's that. It's like what I can envision would help, and maybe if somebody else wants to use the idea, they can actually. I can help them set it up. We can work out something like that. But like literally, it needs to be kind of an inpatient uh, uh, therapy, rehab, physical and addiction center. Like the person needs to get healthy very quickly if you're 350, 400 pounds. Like 350 pounds to 400 pounds, like what the fuck? I mean, like how are people like, I mean, it's humongous. I mean, it is. It's like you're way too big. You need to get there. Like way too big. That's dangerous. Gonna die soon from any slight thing big. People should understand that for real. They really should. What's your take on the Joe Rogan news of the week? I loved his show and many of the guests on conversation. I was hurt to hear the clips though. Um, I think that Rogan is in a very unique position where he is a comedian who just has conversations with people that are somehow being seen as like wrong speech, I guess. Like, I mean, the people actually realize that, like, the not wanting him to be able to have opinions on a show. Like, do people realize how far away that is from free speech? I mean, it's kind of insane. Like, and don't get me wrong, I understand what people are saying. Spotify is a private company, blah 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 blah. I'm just saying, if you personally think that other speech should be like other opinions based on data that are also coming, a lot of it what has been proven to be true. But even besides that, like you can't have a dude asking people questions and them giving the answers. I mean, I think find that kind of crazy. And as for, I mean, I just that's not free speech. Like, if you stand for that, if you think he should be censored because you think it's misinformation, first of all, you are dumb as fuck if you think you can't find the information yourself. And you're insulting the fuck out of the American people, pretty much saying they're so fucking dumb they can't. Like, if it's such misinformation, it should be able. People should be able to take the same data and show why it's wrong. But it's if we're not arguing about the data, if you're saying that the data is false, let's get the real data and let's have it discussed because that would be very appropriate. And raising awareness to that by what Joe Rogan's doing would be very intelligent. You know, like I mean, like we could then come to okay, no, that's fake data. Here's real data, right? But it's not. People know it's the data, and the interpretation by world-renowned other scientists that just don't happen to go with the narrative is somehow misinformation. If it was such a misinformation, it could be disproven with the same data. That's the thing. I mean, so I just don't understand that at all. And as for them digging up every time a comedian said the N word, what the hell? I mean, I'm sorry, I grew up in the fucking 80s and 90s. I sang along to NWA. I don't use that word myself because I think the people that use it for shock value only, and I'm shocking enough on my own. And I don't think, I mean, I really just, I wish nobody said stuff like that because if you want to associate it with something to the point where you think one group should be able to say it and then others can't, then maybe nobody should be able to say it. But I am also a huge believer in free speech. So say it all the fuck you want. I choose not to. I choose not to. And I understand if Rogan has used it in context with repeating what other people said or in a comedy routine. I do find it amazing. And here's my thing. You also have a right to be very upset with people who say racial slurs if you want to be. I totally get that. I wish that we actually encouraged more people to speak what was on their mind, though. I'm going to say why I think saying the N word would be a good thing for society. If we would allow everybody to say the N word, we would be able to find out who is actually really fucking racist. Because here's the thing right now. What we have instituted in our society is institutionalized lying to each other's faces. It doesn't change the mind of people. You know, it absolutely doesn't. I would much rather know by the words used. If somebody felt free to just be a racist bigot, I would be very happy to know that they were a racist bigot, and I would just avoid what they fucking say, and I would avoid them because that's not how I fucking roll. You know, I mean, here's my thing. We're trying to say that the normalization of something in obesity is a good thing. because it removes stigma. Why would it not be the same for words? You know, not only does it remove stigma, but you then can know what is on a person's mind. Like, they're not going to, like, if they feel free to express themselves, no matter how fucking offensive a person might find it, that would be fucking phenomenal. I would know to avoid those people. That was one of the beautiful things. Like, for a long time, we lived in the deep south of South Carolina, and there were racist people there. There were, absolutely were. And they openly said the words that would fucking, you would imagine what racist people would say, right? They were openly racist people in South Carolina. We moved back to Pittsburgh for quite a few years. And what I came to realize is there's more racist people in Pittsburgh that just don't use those words because because they still feel that way. They just don't use the words. But there's more racist people in Pittsburgh. I honestly find that us not addressing it becomes an issue. However, for people to be digging it up on Rogan and not looking at every single fucking body on the fucking left, every fucking comedian that has repeated the word or said the word, no matter what, if we're all of a sudden going to make it so there is literally, like, if somebody has ever uttered that word, they should not have a voice in society. Are you fucking kidding? I mean, it's just stupid. As a Pittsburgher, he's right. I'm fucking damn sure right. There's fucking more racist. I can guarantee you this. There's more racist motherfuckers per capita in Pittsburgh than there is in Pickens, South Carolina. I can fucking guarantee that shit. It's reality, And I'm not saying that racism is actually a huge, 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 huge issue anymore. Are there differences in how people are treated? Absolutely. I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, does discrimination happen? Fuck yeah. But I can tell you this, the other shit that's happening with that stuff is not helping the fucking issue either. Like, I mean, when it makes it so, like, divided is divided. When you start thinking of people as Americans instead of black Americans, white Americans, when you just start looking at everybody as Americans, as we should, that's a whole fucking different thing, Like, I know it's Black History Month. Great. Black History Month, to me, should be every fucking month. Just because it should be fucking history. We should tell it truthfully. People were fucking wronged. White people and black people were slaves. White people and black people were sold into slavery by other white people and other black people. It fucking happens. History, if you look at it, it fucking happens. As a newsflash, there's still a huge fucking issue with slavery today. There's fucking all sorts of child slavery and all sorts of shit. We are not apparently worried about that shit, but we're definitely worried about Joe Rogan. It's fucking sad. It's like, look at the shiny object and be fucking distracted. It really is. Like, people don't realize that, like, it's a little distraction. Like, what is the fucking press to fucking get rid of Rogan? Like, you guys act like he's like the fucking Orange Man reincarnated. Like, it's that type of visceral fucking craziness where you feel that this motherfucker should be deplatformed for talking about data and fucking talking about data, having experts on to talk about data, and in his past, in comedy routines, wording, or even just by himself said a word you find offensive. You think he should never have a voice. You think he should not have a voice. And the people from his show should not have a voice. You are a serious fucking weak person. You're seriously fucking weak. Like you are a very weak person. It's fucking sad. It really, 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 really is. I'm black. It's been decades since anyone I knew was a bigot said those words. The dog whistle is much more worse. I'm actually cool with every person I've ever heard use the word almost. I hear you. With all the insane nonsense that is uttered on podcasts, it's very clear that this is nothing more than political power play. That's, again, I agree. Every civilization has had slavery. Every fucking civilization has had slavery. I mean, for real, black people were sold by other black people to become slaves in America. Guess what? A bunch of fucking like white people were sold into fucking slavery too that were slaves in America and other fucking places. A lot. Shit, motherfuckers. In less than a century, like around a century ago, we were putting Italian Americans and Japanese Americans in camps. Like, history should be known. I bet you a lot of you didn't even fucking know that. But like Italian Americans and Japanese Americans in the 1900s were put in fucking camps at one point in time in America. So I mean, like, people need to understand we have a horrible history of treating each other horribly. The problem is when we don't talk about that fucking history, when we try to erase history, when we try to, instead of understanding the point of view of history, we will fucking repeat it. We become more ignorant when you forget like entire chapters. When you try to delete entire chapters, you will fucking not be able to avoid the same mistakes. You'll talk yourself into the fucking same mistakes. It really will. That's like the Valentine's Day, love your partner every day. Exactly. That's a corporate creation anyway, because obviously feelings over facts. Exactly. Maxwell going back to court is what they are distracting us from. That's the like. Here's another thing too. Why is that not public knowledge? Like, Rogan isn't even on the right. He just has guests on and has honest conversations. He had Sanjay Gupta on not too fucking long ago. If I don't remember incorrectly, didn't he have Sanjay Gupta on and talk to him about like why CNN was calling the Mectin dewormer? Joe Rogan is the only person I know that will have Bernie Sanders and Ben Shapiro back to back and treat both like human beings. I mean, he fucking runs an excellent podcast. He's a dude that asks questions. Like, frankly, he should be like right now. He should be viewed as a national fucking hero, allowing having dissenting opinions upon, to be on. I understand that this is a foreign idea for you motherfuckers, but we should reboot back to the fucking Constitution when people can just say whatever the fuck they want and then deal with the fucking consequences. If words hurt you so fucking bad you can't hear them, don't fucking listen to them. But us suppressing them being said is a fucking issue. You realize that? It's a fucking issue. Big one. He has interviewed people from all ideologies. Absolutely he has. He absolutely has. When he had Gupta on, he blatantly exposed CNN. That's part of why they're attacking him. That's very fucking true too. That's very fucking true. This is also very true. Everybody read that. People sound like fucking idiots. When you refer to it as a dewormer, you sound like idiots. Like, you realize that. A simple search showing that it won a Nobel Peace Prize for its use in humans. Like, anybody that ever called it that is just completely intellectually disingenuous. That's the thing. I think that's a hard part, I think, for a lot of people right now. There's been a lot of shit said that is just completely intellectually disingenuous. Any public official that did not beg at some point in time, has not said to get healthy, has not, like, I know the governor of Florida has told people they should get out, be healthy, exercise, get activity, watch what you eat. He's openly said this. How has this not been an issue for people? How is it not? Like, how has this not been spoken about by every public health official, by every politician? How has getting healthy not been spoken? I mean, people should be asking themselves that. Absolutely, we should be asking ourselves that and understand that if it's that far gone where they won't even talk about that and they're trying to stop the flow of information about these other things, they don't have your best interest at heart. Like, at some point in time, we need to kind of accept that being morbidly obese is in fact bad for us, no matter how much mainstream media, the pharmaceutical industry wants to pay mainstream media to say, and because you realize that's what's happening, right? Like, that's the biggest fucking advertisement revenue is the food, sugar, and pharma industry to mainstream media, to social media. I mean, so of course we're going to push their products, and like, just saying you shouldn't have processed carbohydrates causes fucking fits with these people. We need to get there. Like, I mean, at some point in time, for their villainization of what is now being shown to be a very legitimate therapy and preventative for the pandemic. The pandemic. CNN should be held accountable. They literally lied. I mean, what the fuck? It's crazy. Yep, that is ignorance. Complete ignorance. I totally agree. I love living in Florida. Me too. fucking Freedomville, literally. Because fears of powerful things, and since people are sheep, they will do whatever the media says. That's it exactly. I heard the Canadian prepper talking about it and how the people in power profit from dividing people because they profit from the division. They absolutely profit from the division. Think about the political parties. Think about, I mean, it's not like there's not, easily fucking profit to be made from. Hang on. That link will tell you more about. I don't know if it came through. It might have gotten caught in the filter. Your link, just so you know. But people can absolutely go look it up. Please do. Please look up everything. What amazes me is just now at this stage. I have said this for years, and I promise you, I have said this for years. You can check my old videos. Please check my old videos and share those motherfuckers. By the way, but research everything you fucking hear to the source data. I've said this about weight loss for a long fucking time, and it's just even more prevalent now. When you hear something said by somebody about your health, or literally at this stage, any fucking thing just about, research it to the source data, learn about it, teach yourself about it, and then make your fucking decision. If I say go to the CDC website and look at the numbers, really look at the numbers, look at what they say. And when it tells you that because 5% of all fatalities from the pandemic have been literally just from only the virus, and if you multiply 5%, approximately 5%, by the total number of deaths that they have attributed through the entirety over 2 years of the pandemic, and it comes out to under 44,000 people, that's just their information. If you want to check it, go to the source data that I have often shared and look it up. I can make that statement. People can't claim I'm a conspiracy theorist when I make that statement. I'm depending upon the data that is shown to me from the organization that has told all of you to sit the fuck down for 2 fucking years inside your house, don't go to the gym, don't work out, and wear a facial decoration. I'm able to go to their website and show that from their own fucking words that the thing that they told you to go home, sit down for, don't go to the gym, and just live off DoorDash and be terrified every second of the fucking day and then take this therapy for, I can show you from their fucking data and their fucking words that 43,000 approximately people have passed away from the pandemic only. That's their words. That's their data. What that means to me and what that means to you are very different things. So one could possibly think, as I do, that that is not nearly a justification to alter anybody's life at all without their consent. We can suggest to people to get healthy. We can suggest to people to stay in. We can suggest to people to wear a facial decoration. We can suggest all these things. But this type of threat is not, in my opinion, worthy of telling anybody or instructing anybody or even coercing in any little way anybody to do anything that they do not wish to do. This type of thing should be something that is given, like the people are given as much information as they can about what the information means. They should be allowed to listen to as many opinions as possible when, according to the CDC themselves, less than 44,000 people have passed away from this only in over 2 fucking years. To me personally, that does not deem something that society should have had to deal with at all, besides knowing your risks and knowing who the fuck you are. Society likely, in my opinion, of course, could have gotten a lot healthier. We could have focused on people losing weight. We could have focused on people being out in the sun and getting activity. We could have focused on making sure that children had a good mental and physical health, that we didn't fatten the entire country for 2 years. We could have avoided fattening our children at a rate higher in 1 year than the previous 20 years before it. Like, children got fatter in 1 year of 2020 than they'd had in the 20 years before that. That's fucking scary, motherfuckers. We could have easily led an entire wave of health. Like somebody asked earlier, why can't fitness be contagious like obesity is, societally contagious? because it wasn't impressed upon as a need. But we could have taken 2 years ago as a sign like, hey, there is this new novel virus. And by all of the fucking data that it showed back then, it is very hard on elderly and obese people. We suggest that until we know more, you guys limit your activity if you want to. Understand that there is something that, especially for these high risk group of people, that are absolutely a problem because they don't have innate immunity to it from what we've seen. And this high risk group of people needs to be protected and or given as much leeway as possible. And everybody else, try to make sure you don't enter through your own fucked up lifestyle one of these high risk groups, being either elderly, which has nothing to do with your lifestyle, or obese. And if you do have some sort of other serious comorbidity, like you are a cancer survivor or anything like that, continue on along with the precautions you have been taking already, because you have been at high risk the entirety of the fucking time before this. That's what that could mean to me. The data that is on the CDC website that says that there were approximately 5% of all fatalities have been from the pandemic virus. To other people, that could mean, so fucking what? Let's close the fucking world down. And that person is completely and utterly and totally entitled to that opinion. Their opinion just should not mean fucking shit all to somebody else, because we do have freedom. And that is the thing that people should understand. If we want to be free, we should be able to be free to make our own medical choices and decisions based upon the risks that how we deem them. Our government should give us as much information that they have to the source data, and then let dissenting opinions on any side speak of why it is a serious threat and why it isn't a serious threat. Have everybody if possible present their shit on whether there's the long haul shit and all that stupid crap. And then have everybody else on the other side say why they don't think it's dangerous enough to even warrant a state of emergency, especially one that involved anybody else that was at low risk. When you isolate people that are at low risk, you are going to make them less healthy. You are actually increasing their risk. That is something that is historically shown. However, other people can then decide, like, holy shit, there is something dangerous out. I've listened to both sides. I've listened to both opinions, or all the opinions all the way around. I've listened to everything, and me, as a full-ass, grown-ass fucking adult that's responsible for my own fucking life, that has, like, I can now decide whether I want to live freely in the threat of something that, from the data, looks like might not be deadly to me, or I could die from it. Who knows? But from the odds of it, it looks like it's not more dangerous than my vehicle. So now that I know that, I could either choose to not add that risk to my life and remain in as much as possible and avoid other people, or I could say, fuck it, I'm going to the fucking country bar this weekend and fucking watching everybody line dance and have a good fucking time, as if it's fucking not an actual issue, because in my opinion, it's not something that I should have to fucking even affect my life at all. We're both entitled to our opinions. The thing is, my opinion does not affect the other person staying in. If their opinion about how dangerous it actually is and they think they should stay in, all of a sudden alters over to the point where other people should have to stay in because they're afraid, that's a fucking problem. That's my point. Like, I really don't understand how we've gotten here. If I can show the source data to something and then have an opinion upon it, I should be able to have any fucking opinion upon it I want. And if you can prove me wrong, please feel free to fucking do so. Please. I'm totally fucking good. If I'm using the wrong source data, give me the right source data. If I am like, tell me how to look at this. Tell me how I should. At some point in time, I understand, because the big thing is, well, you're not a doctor, and I totally get that, but I can do math. I mean, what the fuck, people? I can absolutely do math. If I'm not a doctor, have a doctor on here someplace to explain to me why my math is wrong. I'll be fucking happy to hear it. I mean, as somebody that has dealt with, like, shit like this from working for healthcare, I would gladly fucking be able to sit down with any fucking doctor and discuss why they think, personally, it's so bad for society that society should need to lock down. Because I will not get there. I won't. Even if the next pandemic is, targets middle-aged bald dudes, I'm still going to do my shit. I'd rather live free and die a free person than die miserable on my knees. I'm going to be free, right? Like, I don't understand how hard that is for people to understand either. There are going to be some people like me that would openly say, and I do mean this, that even if it was as deadly as they initially scared the fuck out of society with that it was going to be, where they said, I believe it was like 2.5 million people were going to die in 4 months in America. 2.5 million people were supposed to die in 4 months in America. You guys do remember that, right? That's why that was the excuse they used to close everybody fucking down to begin with, right? Everybody remembers that. They've memory hold the fuck out of that. But that's, if you really fucking need to remember, fuck yeah, that's what it was. Even if it would have been that deadly, shit, I'm letting you know. Even if it would have been 10 times that deadly, that would have been the time when people would have stayed in on their own. We could have informed them how fucking deadly it was, and then people still could make their fucking choices about what they would fucking do. It is unfortunate. People die. It sucks. We cannot crush society because we're afraid some people might die. A lot more people will die if you try to contain society in that way. It absolutely will happen. I mean, look around you. I mean, death, all rate fatality deaths from 18 to 65 are up 40% this year. Non-pandemic related. Guess why? What we did about the pandemic. Like, people get that, right? Like, I warned everybody from the very fucking beginning, you cannot just shut a fucking light switch off on this shit and not expect it to fucking destroy shit. Suicide rates, overdose rates, abuse rates, so much shit. Come on, people. Here's my thing. For 2 years, I was getting nothing but hate. Nothing but hate. And now, all of a sudden, in the last couple months, when literally people, the more it is actually spoken, the more people understand it was all bullshit. And that's another reason why they want Rogan to fucking be silent, in my opinion, of course. But the more it fucking comes out, the more data that comes out, the more it aligns with shit I said, the people like me said, that it's vitamin D, it's obesity, it is preventatives, it is leading a healthy lifestyle, it is losing weight, it is avoiding inflammatory foods and ultra-processed foods. It is taking care of yourself, getting enough quercetin, getting enough vitamin C. It is those things. It is not, oh my God, it's so deadly, we have to watch every single person. It is not, we should be convincing our children that their breath can kill other people. The data is showing, and there are still going to be people that think it was completely worth it, and they have a right to that opinion. I'm not even mad at them for being that delusional, in my opinion. Okay, they have a right to it. But that right still does not mean that I should lose mine. I just wish people could get there faster. But thanks for asking about the Rogan thing. We're over an hour. I want to tell everybody, again, here's a link to the coaching. Please do. Let's get to a few questions, and then I'm going to fucking be done. I like the name, Produce Not Pills. Workouts with fast food and alcohol. That's fucking true. Here we go. Samantha giggles. A lot of kids also unalive themselves because they had been sent home when it was 14 days to slow the spread. The suicide rates are fucking crazy. It'll probably get censored because I said suicide rate, but what the fuck? People think about that. I want you to think about that. If me saying the word suicide in something can possibly cause a video to either be taken down and or pushed off the recommended, think of that's bad. Bad. That's bad. Right? That really is. That is bad. To censor shit like that, that is a very clear, when people are discussing this, it's a very serious topic. It's bad to suppress that word. Bad. Let's see. Straight in the medical sector means that if you go to the bar and get into an accident, then you may have less assistance. The one thing they don't take into account for is stressing the medical sector. If the virus, fuck off. Stressing the medical sector further, then if they were worried about stressing the medical sector further, they would have addressed the things that stress the medical sector in large fucking quantity, and that is obesity and lifestyle choice. This is fucking bullshit. One thing that people aren't, I'm sorry, but you look like a bot almost. Because no shit, That is that has always been ridiculous bullshit. Less people were hospitalized in 2020, in all of 2020 for the vid than for the flu season of 17-18 in 4 months. Look it up. It's fact. It's data. I mean, people are fucking morons. Straining the medical sector means that if you go to a bar and get into an accident, then you may have less of assistance. Then increase the medical sector, dumb fuck. But literally, they would try to take away 86% of the fucking burden, which is lifestyle-related illness. They're not concerned about that, okay? I mean, fucking ridiculous. Fear not what you can't control. Exactly. Stop eating seed oils. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think they probably want to avoid lawsuits, so they didn't want to, so they want to shut the truth down. I mean, that's possible too. That is possible too. All right, guys, it's been over an hour, and I'll try to keep these things just to an hour. I will be live again tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm not sure the topic yet. I am not, but there might be a pretty interesting. Is it 1 p.m.? No, I will not be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. I might have to readjust, and I will let you all know. So put the notifications on. Absolutely. Here is the link to the coaching, and here's a link to the consultations. But put your notifications on, because I just remembered that I might have an interview at 1 o'clock. So say hi to fantastic stream as always. Thank you for working. I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And let's head over and watch Papa. Tell Papa I said hello. We haven't talked in a long time. Tell him I said hello. And all right, guys, I will notify everybody of what time it'll be. Bye.